we're not sitting down, we're not, you know, the students aren't just, you know, going to go and go home
We're
and
not giving
cry.
up.
No.
Absolutely not. We may be, quote unquote, only 525 students, but we're fighting, so.
You've got the backing, though, I mean, you know, of community, parents, you know, friends, neighbor. I mean, everyone, you know, we saw Jay Schneiderman. I mean, everyone is perplexed at this whole, it just makes no sense.
Debbie, will there be another opportunity for the students to sit down and speak with some of the administration from Stony Brook University?
Oh, I thought you meant to come here. I was saying, yes, they can come on this show as, you know, as often as we can.
My guess would be the students would love to find a solution that would work for all.
Well, I think they presented a lot of solutions to President Stanley, and he just kept saying no, 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 no. And I don't know if we said this a little while ago, but I thought that he said, doesn't matter if you get the money, you know.
Yeah, obviously it's not the money.
He says it's a done deal.
Right. So what's up with that? Like
some fishy business. Because if you're being offered the money and we're this low on money, and that's the problem, then obviously that's not the problem.
Samantha, didn't you say that they were going to reopen it? Did you say that earlier? And what is it going to become again? Like if they reopen it, like if it's going to stay, like what do they?
We don't know. He said they're going to reopen it in the future, but we don't know what it's going to be.
Well,
because the question I would have is,
why not just keep it open?
Is this a case of there's such dire financial consequences, which, I mean, that is my understanding, that the state is in such dire situation.
Yeah, but the school
Are they putting down the pause button for a second, hoping to sit back and let the financial thing kind of straighten out a little bit and then open it back? I mean, for example, if the administration were to say, we are in such dire straits that we have to do this. We're so sorry, there's nothing we can do. We're going to put a pause in Southampton. Give us a year to like kind of build up our funds a little bit. And then you guys who went to Stony Brook University, you know, we'll be able to open it up again and you could come back out. I mean, is there anything like that happening?
How about this? Give the students a couple of months and they'll raise the money necessary and go through the proper legal frameworks to keep the school open, no pause. We'll fast forward to September when the students are all going into their classrooms at Stony Brook and with big smiles on their faces.
I was going to say, we have so much money for other things. Like in the new energy plan, Governor Patterson said to start New York State to invest in liquid natural gas, another foreign fossil fuel. Yet we can't invest in this. All these people who are making, you know, pushing for alternative energy. Like, why would we rely on another foreign fossil fuel when we have enough natural gas in Pennsylvania for the next 3 generations? Yet they want to invest in private companies that want to build these structures in our ocean to transport foreign fuel. Like, you know, this money is obviously there for other uses, you know?
We should build the structures called wind turbines out in the oceans to
They shot down the
generate
Jones
energy.
Beach idea, but I mean, Broadwater was almost about to happen.
Right.
Is that crazy? Like, that's pretty crazy.
It's not making sense.
Not at all.
I mean, President Stanley's building a hotel on main campus, but he can't save Southampton. It doesn't really make sense. I think he has...
Who's going to stay there?
Yeah, exactly. There's an underlying issue, I think, that he has with Southampton, other than the money.
Maybe someone should corner him and give him these questions, like, you know, what are you doing? Like, why? Especially, you know, we're not talking $1 billion. We're talking, you know, apparently it's $6.7 million is what the shortfall is,
the numbers just don't add up. They really don't.
I'd like to invite President Stanley to come on Keepin' It Green, and we'll have a discussion so that everybody can hear your take on it, because we're not hearing your take. We're hearing our take. So we're confused.
And it's good to hear both sides of an argument.
It is very good to hear,
because that's when you get to the
truth.
truth.
It's not like we're only blaming him either. I mean, he's on a board of 3 other people and seems to really be stuck in his own situation. Maybe it's not his call, but obviously he's the only one who can help us right now and push for us. It seems like he doesn't want to, though.
You know, all the hard work that Dr. Shirley Strum-Kenny, she ran Stony Brook for years and years and years, and she was an amazing person, and she built this college up. It was her dream. It got, you know, and obviously it wasn't ridiculous, or, I mean, it worked. It was amazing. They started out with a couple of majors. We had the environmental studies, marine vert, marine science, and now there's 8 different programs offered. And I was so hopeful that they were going to bring a master's program in, and I was talking with a few professors about that, and even Mary Pearl, I talked with her about it, and this was just back in December, and they were talking about bringing in a master's program for the environment, and they were designing it, laying it out, and then all of a sudden, bam! Now you have nothing.
You know, on the surface, it would look like something happened that created an instant trickle down, which may simply be the New York State budget. It's my understanding that Stony Brook is in dire straits because of this shortfall, and that many of the state colleges are in shortfall, dire straits. So that then trickled down to a slam dunk. So your conversations about graduate school in the wintertime make sense. I guess the big issue is, how do you get out from under this and still preserve the integrity of the environment, of the East End community? You know, the taxes from Suffolk, Nassau, and the boroughs fund most of the state of New York. But that said, being angry, even though that is a normal feeling to have, doesn't usually solve anything. What solves something is really getting to the truth and having ability to get down to a table and have a conversation and to think out of the box and come up with a solution that hasn't been thought of before.
I think they
Because I think you guys are certainly not going to give up.
Right, and I think that's what they thought, that they
And I
were
don't
going to say
think-
your school is closing and move on. You
And
know,
we're
and
not.
I think
In my heart of
Newsday-
hearts.
Newsday told us before President Stanley told us.
Yep.
You know, like it
Southampton
leaked.
Press.
Or Southampton Press, like, you know, and then he scheduled the meeting for a day sooner than he was gonna tell us. So obviously he knew,
wow.
and he leaked it to the press, and then we found out through the press that we have no majors anymore. Like,
That and the
insane.
professors just found out through the newspaper.
Wow.
So
I think
I
too,
mean,
when
classes
you're
were
hearing,
canceled that day. They were like, yeah, obviously we're not gonna have a job. So, you know, I want, like, one of my teachers, like, it was a shocking day for all of us.
Yeah.
Shocking week. Probably craziest week of my life.
I'm sure.
It's insane.
you know, and when you experience trauma, the way the information is delivered has a relationship to how you will react to it.
True.
Finding some, you know, had there been, I mean, there is no easy way probably to deliver that type of news, and that was my experience from Southampton College, but again, it was delivered in a very harsh way. With Southampton College, they were closing within 30 days
That's what I read.
until it was changed because, just history repeating itself real quick, a passionate professor addressed the board and said, you forgot about the human factor. Let me talk to you about the human factor. And the Board of Trustees listened. So I leave you with that. Good luck.
Susan, give me your favorite quote Margaret made.
Never doubt the effect that a small group of committed citizens can have on changing the world. In fact, it's the only thing that ever has.
That's right. So we are a rather small group, but let's just ask everybody to go to the Facebook, sign the petition, donate money. They need the
Please.
money for the legal team and any events, you know, that will be going. I'm sure there'll be a lot of events, fundraisers. We're going to try to work on that. And
SOS, SBS.
SOS, Save Our Schools, Stony Brook, Southampton. Yeah, thank you guys for coming.
Thank you.
thank you.